This is Hispi in Didsbury, the third restaurant from Gary Usher alongside Sticky Walnut and Burnt Truffle. All three of these have had great reviews up and down the country, and £50,000 of the money needed to open this place came via crowdfunding, proving that Gary and his team have a loyal following. And with plans to open a fourth bistro in Liverpool soon called Retfish, he must be doing something right. However, TripAdvisor is a dark and murky place. Good reviews are in abundance, but we have dredged the canals of comments to find for you the worst reviews we possibly can of Hispi. Gary, hello mate.
Hey, how's it going?
Are you up for this?
Well, you know what? I stopped drinking about 5 days ago, and I've been really positive. And yeah, this might send me under a little bit.
Yeah, let's see if we can knock that positivity out of you.
Brilliant, yeah.
What is your relationship with TripAdvisor at the moment? Is it a useful tool for you, do you think?
It's not a useful tool for me, no. Well, it depends how you look at it. Over the last sort of 5 or 6 years, I've read it for the restaurants, particularly for Sticky, the first restaurant, and if I've had more fun with it than I have used it as a tool for business. So if there was a bad review or something that I thought was just ridiculous, then I'm more likely to put it up on social media and try and have a bit of a crack with it instead of sit down with the staff and find out why somebody thought something wasn't right. So.
Why was there no handtails in the bathroom?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, well let's crack on, shall we?
Yeah.
First one, this is from two people, Jez and Rach, they call themselves. It's a nice easy one to start off this. Ordered starters and mains, which arrived after a suitable delay. Little dig straight in. Food presentation, very good. Trouble was, Gary, it didn't taste of anything. Nothing.
Yeah, didn't taste of anything. Yeah, we just sent them out. Well, so they had water then, basically. Yeah. What is there an end? Is there a conclusion of that?
No. They want you to know. They want the internet to know that your food doesn't taste of anything.
Yeah. I mean, how do I respond to that? I mean, should I? I don't know. What can you say to that?
Cookie Monster 171. That's what they call themselves. Bit longer this. The pate starter gave both myself and my friend's wife the runs whilst we were actually in the restaurants. The waiting staff were curt, to say the least, and I really didn't like being corrected on my pronunciation. They may have been right, or I may have been right. What isn't right is to be corrected in front of one's party. Oh, and the unisex toilets didn't go down too well with the ladies. They don't say whether that's because of the tummy trouble or not.
Yeah, right. Know. So, I mean, okay, Cookie Monster, that's the name.
Cookie Monster with a K.
Right. So, first of all, taking someone seriously that's called themselves Cookie Monster. So, even if this did have any relevance to the running of the restaurant, I'd have to sit down with the staff and say, right, someone called Cookie Monster really isn't happy with their experience. So, I mean, we're already on a back foot anyway. They've said that they've got the shits in the restaurant while they're eating. I mean, that's, they're doing pretty well there to do that. Is that not physically impossible?
I think there's a period that it usually takes, isn't it, before anything happens?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably about 20. Well, not within an hour. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty ridiculous. What else have they said?
The waiting staff were curt, to say the least, Gary, because they were corrected on a pronunciation, but they don't say what the pronunciation is.
Yeah, and this is oneself as well. I mean, fuck's sake. I don't know how I can take this stuff seriously without laughing about it.
Okay, let's move on from the food then. The Epicurean Mank has decided to comment on how the place looks.
Okay, yeah.
The decor, Gary, is surprisingly dull and uninspired. There's no art on the walls, the lighting is old-fashioned, and the light just goes onto bare wall beneath. Despite being new, it looks as if it's ready for a makeover already. It's not a bad place, but Didsbury has so many good places with more character.
It's just offensive, isn't it? It's just really offensive. Like, this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, you take your time, and you do more than take your time. You put your life into it. This is. I do stand and choose the bits that go in here. I did choose the lighting. I did choose the colour. And then for someone to say it's shit and it looks like it needs a makeovers, it's really offensive. Really offensive.
Not just shit, Derry, but dull and uninspired.
Yeah, brilliant.
Karen G.
Yeah.
Karen G ends with a bit of advice for you, which is nice, so we'll get to that in a minute. So she begins, food is okay, but nothing outstanding, and service lukewarm. No energy or enthusiasm about the place. It's just another restaurant. Was hoping to be able to come away and recommend to others, but I'm afraid I won't be. A missed opportunity. Here comes the advice. You need to up your game. No advice on how to do that.
Yeah, no. Well, I wouldn't fucking take it anyway. It's like, it's. If you look, we want to provide a great time for someone in any of the restaurants. We really do. We pride ourselves on wanting to do that. It's called passion. It's loving what you do. We want people to have a great time. Mm-hmm. If they don't, I don't care. I don't care. If they don't because we've done something wrong, it's different. But if they don't like it because their expectations, which isn't my problem, haven't been met, then go somewhere else. And I genuinely mean that. Go somewhere else.
Oh,
go somewhere else and don't ever come back. Because we're not, you can't please everybody. And you'll get a lot at the start of the reviews. It'll say, it wasn't what I expected. That's not my fault. That's your fault. That's got nothing to do with me. We do what we do and we do it the best that we can. If you've built your expectations up by what someone else says, that's not my fault, that's your fault. Come and try and enjoy it, and hopefully you will. Come with these raised bars of something that someone else has told you, then there's nothing I can do about it. Just go somewhere else.
Well, I'll tell you who did come to your restaurant, and I'll tell you who didn't enjoy it.
Not the Cookie Monster again.
No, this is Miko 1.
Right.
Not once, Gary, not once during the evening did the waiter, who, by the way, didn't seem at all confident around people, ask if our meal was okay or engage in any kind of conversation, simply putting the food down in front of us and then walking off. There's more.
Okay. Yeah.
They now list a few things that they have problems with, a few qualms.
Yeah, I bet they do, yeah.
So, Gary, well, we can rattle through these and get each one to each one. The first one, the lighting is so dim that it would be quite difficult for some people to read the menu.
You know what? If that's annoying, actually. And I've been to restaurants where it is too dark and it is difficult to read the menu. That is annoying. I'm not saying it was dark.
Yeah, but it is annoying when it happens.
It is annoying, yeah.
Okay, I don't know how you can respond to this. There was a long wait for the starter. Okay. The celeriac risotto didn't really work. The flavours seemed disjointed. This guy seems good.
Yeah, he's got a passion for critiquing, yeah.
Or for celeriac risotto.
Yeah.
This is a big one for me. The truffle and parmesan chips had no discernible truffle or parmesan taste.
Yeah, again, what can I do about that? And what would I do? And what is the point in the review? Especially for, what is the point in that? So who's gonna read that and go, you know what? I think twice about going there because there's not enough truffle on the chips, that guy says. And the guys that get to the end and say, and no, I won't be returning. Okay, cool. So what? So what if you won't be returning? Who's the review for? Is it for someone else? Is it to stop people coming here? Because if it is, that's really shitty. Or is it just to say your piece? Like, what's it? I don't understand what the point is in it. I don't get it.
Do you think with a lot of them, they want to be writers, food critics? Or do you think they are just keyboard warriors?
I don't know. I don't know because I've never gone to a restaurant and then at the end of it been like, I can't wait to get home to write about this. Especially not getting paid for it. To go home and to be the first thing that you do, not think about what drink you might have when you get in or what film you're going to put on or just going to bed. You think about, right, I must get on TripAdvisor and I must write about how there wasn't enough truffle and parmesan in the chips. Like, get a fucking life.
But mate, if I have truffle and parmesan chips, I want them to taste the truffle and parmesan.
It's got to be right, yeah.
Okay, and then Miko kind of summarises, and then this is the last one. So to summarise, says Miko 1, overall I was left with the impression that the place is caught up in the whole world of crowdfunding, social media, and trying to do something a little bit out there, he uses quotation marks, while missing the basics that make a good restaurant. The fancy things on the menu are all well and good, but what if you simply want a nice steak or a slightly more humble dish?
Bullshit. How can you say that we're caught up in we're caught up in crowdfunding? It was crowdfunded.
Yes.
Yeah, so possibly we are caught up in crowdfunding. Yeah, we do beef and chips. It's our most popular dish, beef and chips. So I don't know where he was, and if he did want a steakhouse, go to a steakhouse. Don't come here. If you wanted a burger, go and grab one from next door. You can't please somebody like that, can you?
I don't think you can.
No.
And I don't think you ever will.
What was the last line again?
The last line was, the fancy things on the menu are all well and good,
Yeah.
but what if you simply want a nice steak or a slightly more humble dish?
You know what? I'm not even. Doesn't even warrant a response, that one.
Gary, thank you for doing that, man.
I feel nice and
Was it
riled up
cathartic?
now. No, I'm completely revved up the wrong way now.